All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world, wherever you may be, both male and female, always. My name is Logan, and this is Decode Your Reality, and today we're going to be breaking down and decoding the infamous cryptocurrency coin called XRP. I probably get more requests for this topic than anything else. So it kind of tells me where everybody's mind's at. So I wanted to do a decode on this. I figured I'd throw together a decoding short. And let's have at it, ladies and gentlemen. No topics. We're just going to jump right into this. I know this is going to get watched a lot, going to get shared a lot. Thanks, everybody, for the support, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just going to highlight. I may do a part two. Let's see how this one goes, part one. But let's start here. 2011, the three engineers for XRP, David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito, or McCaleb. Those are the three guys. That's what it says around their website, right here. Take it right off their website. So throw it into numerology, and we get an outcome of the 118. And why this 118 is big is because it's going to go right into alchemy now, because this is where you take numerology and you bring it into the periodic table. We're made up of a lot of these elements. These elements are in the Earth's crust. We're mining for these elements. We're crypto mining now. So these have a lot of say in how the narrative of our reality works. And it's right in the get-go. It's tied to this mighty element here called tin. It's called stannum in Latin. That's why the SN abbreviation is there. And it's a match to their numerology, the three names. How big is this 50? In God we trust on the back of the dollar bill. That in numerology equals 50. There were 50 Bitcoin started in 2009 on January 3rd when they did Genesis Block 0. It was 50. It's all about this 50. And it's the Tin Man looking for his heart, Wizard of Oz. Check out all my other decodes on that information right there. But you can clearly see where the logo for XRP comes from. I think. This is my opinion, but it's pretty crystal clear. Even if it wasn't intentional, well, now you're seeing the esoteric behind the XRP and how big an XRP is likely going to be. This is not giving any financial advice, by the way, but there is the alchemical symbol for the element tin. So how about that? Just like that, the three guys that started it all, the engineers, they formed the 118 and the element 50 and tin, and just like that, we have that connecting point. This is the merger of worlds, and it's tied to Uranus, and I'm going to show this throughout this decode and presentation. So let's break down XRP, the words. We know it comes from Ripple. Ripple's 27. I showed that. That's tied to currency. But XRP is the 15, and it goes right into the devil. Yeah, see, this whole entire reality is based on the devil. The game of life is light, which is the devil. Contains all the information, frequency, waves. That's what this whole reality is based upon. And we're moving from fiat currency, physical, into digital coins, currency, cryptocurrency. And the devil. This is kind of the comedy in my eyes. Whatever runs this reality, it's a stand-up comedian. God's a stand-up comedian. And you can clearly see they're chained to the block. And there's the comedy, right? Blockchain, of course, as fate would have it, is 32. I showed this in my blockchain decoded. I showed it in my cryptocurrency decoded, especially in my blockchain decoded. If you haven't seen blockchain decoded, please go check that one out. But it's clear right there, 32, and that's where you're going to get the game at. The game master, another word for God that runs this reality. Another word for the devil that runs this reality, right? The 32. And remember, water freezes at 32 degrees. And this is a very fitting story for mankind. You know, this is where we go down into a fractal. And what's absolutely fascinating, ladies and gentlemen, is you go deeper. Forget about the 15 for the total. How about the 5, 2, and the 8 that make up XRP using the oldest numerology cipher on the planet called Chaldean numerology? Well, it's the 32nd triangular number. If you watched my 700 Club, it probably didn't interest you. But in there, I showed how they were tied to the fish story and the 153, and 153 is the 17th triangular number. These numbers are all part of sacred geometry and the makeup of this reality, the net that surrounds this world. We're ruled over by letters, numbers, and symbols, and frequencies and waves. And 528 is a big time number as well because you get into frequencies. Right? How big, if you're into solfeggio, if you're into, binaural beats and stuff like that, how big is 528? It's massive. It is absolutely a massive frequency for healing the world, for healing DNA. If you know this, and there it is. And now is XRP going to heal the world? Well, I mean, it's a liability and an asset, just like everything else is in this reality. There's always going to be the yin yang on everything. So if you're somebody who holds a lot of XRP and it goes to the moon, what you do with that money is going to have the difference in the world of either going utopian or dystopian. And that's where you get the liability and the asset from. But you see, now we're going to get into the sine and cosine waves. I did a decode on how to decode using the sine and cosine waves. Because these numbers, they all have patterns to them through the sine and cosine waves, which is mathematics, which is frequency and waves, etc. And the hertz and all that stuff. So the number 528, here's the sine and cosine wave. Off the website, numbersempire.com. Please go support that channel. It's amazing. And you see right there, it's 0.2 and 0.9. And they say that, if the cosine runs the sine wave. Cosine, chaos and order sine wave, runs the sine wave. And it's 9 and 2. And you bring that together and now you get uranium. And, what do you have here? You could say it's a V, yeah, for sure. But you have the U here, the two U's. Uranus, uranium, which in my opinion, it runs this entire reality. It is the father of all this reality. And it's going to move us into cryptocurrency. Okay, it's even got the 50 on the back end of it. So when you go back up to here, you can see as the 50 for its protons. See how it's all fitted? So these are all in bed together, as I say. Okay, they're all in bed together. And then if you add up just the first two numbers of the sine and cosine wave, the 9 and the 2, you add this 92 up, it's going to give you the number 11. And the 11th house in astrology. So now you're going to bring another layer into it. We start from numerology, we go into mathematics, we go into alchemy, and now we bridge it into astrology. And you get the 11th house called Aquarius. And I showed this in my Crypto Kingdom. I have parts 1 and part 2. I hope all of you watching this have watched both of those, because I clearly showed that the Bible is a book about transhumanism and it's a book about taking you into the age of cryptocurrency. Whatever transhumanism looks like, folks, you got to define that yourself. Don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just the tour guide showing you how all this stuff works and how the Christ, he's making the letter U here, which is the symbol for uranium. That's his kingdom. No one gets to the Father except through me. What do you think the Father is? Father, sky, uranium, Uranus. Okay, these are no-brainers. And even the verse of Revelation 21 verses 1, it says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Okay, it's 21, Revelation 21. And what is the 21st letter in the English alphabet? The letter U. Okay, it's pretty easy to see this when you have the eyes to see it. Okay, so we have the Aquarius and Leo axis here if you're a fan of astrology. Uranus and the sun. And a lot of people think Jesus is the son of God. Well, there you go. The son of Uranus would be right there. Okay, Father, Son, the ruler of Aquarius, the ruler of Leo. Pretty easy to see. Okay. So if we go another step, we add the 21 and 97. We go 2 digits in from the decimal point for the sine and cosine wave that make up the 528. You got up and you get the 118. Remember what you saw that 118 from? It goes right back to that element tin. The merger of worlds, and you get that logo of XRP. From their freaking numerology into mathematics, into sine and cosine waves, into alchemy, and out pops the symbol of XRP. So did they create the symbol based upon what I'm showing you? Maybe, but I doubt it. See, mankind's being used. Your mind's not your own. You're just along for the ride, so just enjoy it instead of complaining and bitching. That's what a lot of people like to do. They get off on that shit. And then you go right back and you see the 3 guys the 3 engineers who started developing it. You have Ryan in there as well, but I couldn't get much information on him, who created OpenCoin. There's so much information in this, but this 118 right there from the sine and cosine wave. You see how beautiful this is, folks? These people are being used. I don't care what high level you think you're at. Doesn't matter. You're subordinate to the voice in your head, which runs and owns you. And the voices are coming from somewhere, and they ain't coming from a little birdie, I can tell you that. So going a little bit further on this sine and cosine wave, you have the 21 and the 97. And of course, I already showed the 21st letter in the English alphabet is the letter U, which is stamped right on the alchemical element uranium, Uranus. The U. It's you and me. I am you. And then crypto is 97, the making up the cosine wave. You see? And they say cosine runs the sine wave. And to kind of bring this all home right here, you have crypto being 25 in Chaldean, and 97 is the 25th prime number. See, Chaldean works off the numbers 1 through 8, and the English works off of the numbers 1 through 8 because the English alphabet has 26 letters and 2 plus 6 is 8. That's why these are the kind of the two standards, Chaldean being the oldest and then the English language being created and based upon the numbers 1 through 26. You can use the Pythagorean one and all the other ones, but the English and Chaldean to me are really in cahoots together if you're someone who wants to start to decode. But clearly you can see, it's uranium and it's tied to XRP right there. Okay. So what about the saying of 528? Remember how big it is in hertz and frequencies. It's massive. It's a healing frequency. 55. And the element that has the 55 protons, cesium. You go look at this element, it's used to make atomic clocks. Think about what I'm telling you here, atomic. If you are a fan of the show Dark on Netflix, this is the element they use for time travel. And cesium is a 23 when you say that in numerology, just like the word Bitcoin and Uranus. Just like the word Bitcoin and Uranus. So, Bitcoin, of course, started it all out. XRP jumped on the bandwagon. This is like religion. There's the first religion, then somebody says, oh, I don't like that one. I'm going to go create my own. And then next thing you know, you get 10,000 religions. Well, which is it? Well, it's all of them, man. Are all the coins going to make it? No, probably not. I'm not going to tell you which ones will and which one won't. But not all of them are going to make it. That's my opinion. And, these are all susceptible, right? These are all susceptible to either making it or not making it, no matter how much information we can gather here. But you can clearly see who the granddaddy of them all, who's going to rule over all cryptocurrency, is the planet Uranus, which rules Aquarius, which is what we have or are moving into. I even showed this in my Economist Crypto Decoded. A lot of you watched this one. Got a lot of traction on this one. Because Satoshi Nakamoto, the name used that created Bitcoin is the 55. And the 55 is the digit that is, connected to the number 21 in the golden ratio. And the modernized version of a symbol or the letter phi, which is what this is, which was right on the phoenix, is the 21st letter. So there you go. There's the connecting point. And so you can see how Uranus, Bitcoin, cesium, and XRP, they're all in bed together. All of them. All right? And mankind didn't code this, folks. They're just along for the ride. Just along for the ride. And then how about for the tail end of this reading, I have a couple more slides left, very short and sweet. How about the astrological map for the creation of Ripple, of XRP, back in 2012? On June 2nd, 2012, the code was submitted. King Arthur Brito. And here's what it looked like. Now, I had to just use 9 a.m. because I don't know what time it was submitted at. And so the houses may change, but the zodiac signs will not. And I use San Francisco because that's where XRP or Ripple Labs is located at. And what you're seeing here is a cluster of planetary energy in the 11th house, if this is so, right? But it's, even if it's not, this is the house of Aquarius, and this is what we're moving towards or have moved into, but they're all in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the bull. The bull is the mascot for the New York Stock Exchange. You starting to see the patterns here? Taurus, the bull god, okay, runs currency. Stable, that's the name of the game for Taurus, is stable, and it's ruled by Venus, and Venus is in this sign here, so she's at home. Venus is the symbol of the Ankh, representing immortality. You got Mercury, the messenger there, the sun, the spirit, which is the Christ, obviously. You got Jupiter right there, and you have the south node of the moon, Ketu. Okay, and across the way, they go here, you're now moving into Scorpio. Right across the way in the 5th house, you have, if it is in the 5th house, you have Rahu here. And what is Scorpio, otherwise known as the eagle? And you go right back up to the Economist magazine. What's on the magazine? And the eagle will rise from the ashes. So there's a lot of say in Taurus and Scorpio playing out their role here in astrology. But the bigger takeaway here really is the granddaddy of them all is Uranus, because Uranus, and forget about the house, right? Because we don't know if it's in the night, because this is at 9 a.m. It could have been, he could have submitted the lines of code at noontime. It would have changed it. But the planetary position in the zodiac sign is not going to change. And Uranus is in the sign of Pisces. And of course, 2012 was more than likely the age of Pisces still. Okay, so you have Uranus setting up its own system in Pisces before it moves into the age of Aquarius. And if this is true, if the lines of code were submitted at 9 a.m., well, then you're talking about Uranus being right at the midheaven line. And being not only in the midheaven line, but being between the 26th and 27th nakshatras, 26 being tied to the number 55, because iron is 26 and it has an atomic mass of 55. And we just go right back up to here. Cesium being that 55 protons, 528 being 55, and the Economist magazine and Satoshi being 55. See, they're all connected, folks. We're moving into this, like it or not. Now, there may be options to change at a moment in time. I don't know. But you could clearly see we're moving into cryptocurrency. It's inevitable for the world that's being created. The new heaven and the new earth, man. What's the new earth going to be? Well, seems like it's going to be a world filled with cryptocurrency. So many other nuggets with this right here, but let me kind of end this decoding short of XRP with a bang here, because this slide, which I've shown several times now, is what's going to rule cryptocurrency in the age of Aquarius. It's Uranus. Now, Uranus is, in my opinion, is going to go all the way back to ancient Sumeria. If you're a historian, chronologist, if you're a fan of Jason from Archaics, if you're a fan of Jordan from Waters Above, whoever, we're all talking about this stuff. Ancient Sumeria predates all the biblical stuff, theology, all the New Age stuff, which is Christianity and Judaism. Those are more New Age. You go all the way back to ancient Sumeria and the land of Ur, and Ur starts with the letter U. So Anu was the supreme god of the sky, the father of the sky, which is heaven. So if you want to go to heaven, you're going to go to Uranus. If you believe there's a heaven to go to, you're going to go to Uranus, whatever that looks like. It's a pretty cold place. But anyways, Anu is a 12, and the 37th number is a 12 prime number, and I in the sky is 37. Now I want to remind you that San Francisco, where Ripple is located at, sits at 37 degrees latitude north. Coincidence? Of course not. Okay. Did they set it up there? I mean, a lot of businesses there, man. Did they all know about this code? No. But maybe some do. But it doesn't matter, because the energy of the supernatural, whatever this thing is, whatever the energy is running this reality, it runs mankind. So it controls your mind to set it up in the territories where it wants you to set them up in. We're just along for the ride, folks. And just to kind of seal the deal with this here, as you know, the Greek, the archaic Greek, the old, before the modernized version of the Greek alphabet came into play. This is the old style, the archaic. It's Uranus in Greek. The original where it came from is 108. And you get the 108 when you add up the 37th element and the 12th element. Why I took these here is because, remember, 37 is the 12th prime number. I in the sky is 37. San Francisco's latitude is 37. And the sky god called Anu, which is all the way back to ancient Sumeria, which is Uranus, is 12. So these two elements are in bed together, of course. Uranus being 23 through Chaldean, magnesium having the most abundant isotope of its kind, 23.98. 23 is the royal star of the line in numerology. And then rubidium has a weight of 84.91. It's most abundant. And Uranus, of course, has an orbital period of 84 years. So these are no accidents. And here's the icon chosen to represent rubidium. It's the all-seeing eye. Magnesium even has the all-seeing eye. And if you go back to the Royal Society of Chemistry right here, if you go to the Royal Society of Chemistry and you look at magnesium, there it is. There's another eye right there. So both these elements, magnesium and Rubidium have an eye on them, of course, because it's Anu, the sky god, Father. This is what Jesus is, the Father. Jesus' kingdom is the crypto kingdom, folks. Check out my crypto kingdom Decoded. So the last couple slides I got for this decoding short here, just to really kind of put a nail in the coffin on this. Those of you that have been thirsty for this XRP decode, what about this number 15 again? I'm going to go back to the total. 528 equals 15. Well, we go 15 digits into the golden ratio, and look at what we get for a total outcome when we add up all digits. Because this is the source code, man. The golden ratio, the measurements of nature, the patterns of nature, measuring waves, measuring flowers, measuring trees, 84. And 84 is what Uranus makes for a complete orbit around the sun, 84 Earth years. Coincidence? Not on your Nelly. Of course not. But mankind is not coding it at this level. You may be able to get some things right, but you're not coding it at this level, folks. We can decode it, of course. We're decoding that. We're all decoding ourselves home. That's what we're doing, really. But we're supposed to be doing this work, myself included. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's short and sweet. XRP Decoded. I might do a part 2. Let's see how much traction this one gets. This one was pretty easy to see here. It's tough to get the names. I would really like to dig into the founders, but I can't get their birthdays. It's tough to get their full birth certificate names, so it's challenging to really dig in and see what I can find there. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you saw, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your comments coming. Just keep them cordial, please. We're all about loving here. You don't have to agree with everything I say. If it's not your truth, maybe you need to go find another channel for your truth. Okay, I'm just a tour guide. I'm showing you exactly what I'm downloading. I'm the catalyst. I'm an instrument being used by the supernatural. That's my final answer. So I hope you like what you saw. If not, maybe you need to find your truth somewhere else. That's totally fine. Okay, it's not for everybody. But anyway, keep your comments coming. We'd love to hear what you got to say. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.